Everyone called him the strong one. His friends, his family, his colleagues. If something went wrong, they called James. James would fix it. James would know what to do. James always had the answer. And he did. Every time. He showed up when his friend's marriage was falling apart. He stayed late when his colleague was struggling at work. He held his mother's hand through every difficult moment. He never complained. He never asked for anything in return. And nobody ever thought to ask, who holds James together? One evening, James came home from work. He put his bag down. He sat on the floor. And he stayed there for 2 hours. Not crying, not thinking, not doing anything, just sitting, empty. He didn't understand it. He hadn't had a bad day. Nothing had gone wrong. But something inside him had quietly run out. Like a phone that had been giving its battery to everyone else and forgotten to charge itself. James sat there alone and thought one thing: I am so tired of being strong. This is not just James's story. Millions of people live this exact experience every single day. The person everyone leans on, the one who holds it all together, the one who never breaks down, at least not where anyone can see. So what is actually happening inside these people? And why do the strongest ones always seem to break down alone? Psychologists have studied this pattern for decades, and what they found is not what most people expect. The people who appear strongest on the outside are often carrying the heaviest weight on the inside. Not because they are broken, but because they never learned that putting the weight down was allowed. Think about where this begins. Most people who become the strong one learn that role very early. There was a younger sibling who needed protecting, or a parent who was struggling, or a home where uncertainty was normal and someone had to be stable. That someone was them. Nobody asked them to do it. They just understood, without a single word being said, that their job was to hold things together, that their feelings could wait, that other people's needs came first. And they were so good at it that it stopped feeling like a role. It became their identity. The strong one, the reliable one, the one who never breaks. But here is what nobody tells you about carrying weight for too long. The body keeps score. Every suppressed emotion, every swallowed tear, every moment of pretending to be fine gets stored somewhere. Not forever, but until it finds a way out. And it always finds a way out. Sometimes it comes out as exhaustion that sleep cannot fix. Sometimes it comes out as anger at something small and unimportant. Sometimes it comes out as 2 hours sitting on the floor doing nothing, like James. Neuroscience gives us a clear picture of why this happens. When a person suppresses emotion repeatedly, the prefrontal cortex works overtime. This is the part of the brain that manages regulation, that keeps composure, that holds things together. Every time an emotion rises, the prefrontal cortex pushes it back down, and this takes energy. Real neurological energy, which is why people like James are exhausted in ways they cannot explain. Not physically tired, something deeper, a tiredness that follows them even on good days, because their brain has been working double shifts, feeling everything and showing nothing. There is also something else happening. The stronger James appeared, the less anyone thought to check on him. The person who cries easily gets asked if they are okay. The person who never cries gets assumed to be fine. So James, who was carrying more than anyone around him, was offered less support than anyone around him. Because his strength became his disguise. And nobody looks behind a disguise that works that well. James had a friend named Daniel. Daniel was different from the others. He didn't call James when things went wrong. He called James on random Tuesday afternoons just to talk. One day, Daniel asked James a question nobody had ever asked him before. Not, "Are you okay?" but "What are you actually carrying right now?" James didn't answer immediately. He looked at Daniel for a long moment, and then, for the first time in years, he told the truth. Not everything, just one true thing. I'm exhausted, and I don't know how to stop. Daniel didn't panic, didn't try to fix it, didn't change the subject. He just nodded and said, I know. I've been watching you carry too much for too long. That was the moment something shifted for James. Not because the weight disappeared, but because someone finally saw it. So what actually helps people like James? Not being told it is okay to be vulnerable. Most strong people already know that. Knowing it is not the same as feeling safe enough to do it. What helps is smaller, more specific. The first thing, find one Daniel, not 10 people, not a therapist necessarily, one person who has shown, through actions not words, that they can hold something heavy without dropping it. Someone who doesn't panic at pain, someone who doesn't fix or minimize. That person exists. But the strong person has usually never tested them, because testing feels like risking. Start small, one true thing, see what happens. The second thing, let the battery run down sometimes. James's problem was not that he was strong, it was that he never stopped giving. Strength is not infinite, it needs to be restored. Rest is not weakness, rest is how strength survives. The third thing, notice when you say fine and mean something else. The word fine has become armor, automatic, instant, practiced. But every time you say fine when you mean falling apart, you move further from yourself and further from the people who might actually want to reach you. The fourth thing, understand that asking for help is not the end of being strong. It is strength recognizing its own limits. The strongest thing a person can do is admit they are human, that they need, that they hurt, that they cannot hold everything alone forever, because nobody can, not even James. James still shows up for the people he loves. He still answers the phone at midnight. He still holds things together when they fall apart. But now, sometimes, he calls Daniel on a random Tuesday afternoon and tells the truth. Not everything, just one true thing, and that is enough. The strongest people in your life are carrying things you cannot see, not because they don't feel, because they feel everything and learned somewhere along the way that showing it was not safe. If you are one of those people, you are allowed to put the weight down sometimes. Not forever, not all at once, but sometimes, in front of someone who can hold it. Because the person who holds everyone else together deserves someone to hold them too. If this felt like someone finally said it out loud, like this video and subscribe. Every week we explore the psychology behind the way you think, feel, and live. See you next time.